let's play some Angels. This deck doesn't have a ton of cards from the new set, but it has just a powerful mid-rangey game plan that felt good in the standard 22Q, and I think this mid-range style of deck is one that gets a pretty solid upgrade with getting to play best of 3 and having access to a sideboard. So yeah, a decently proactive game plan where you can just like curve Valkyrie into Retribution, into like powerful 5 mana cards, and then we have a scotch of interaction, right? We've got some Vanishing Verses, we got some Skyclave Apparitions. Post board, we can board into Portable Holes or check for traps depending on what we're playing against. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how Angels feels here in our brave new freshly rotated format. Did get the full art lands. This is fine. We have a Snarl. We have a black-white Snarl. In fact, because we have a Snarl, you're going to see me hold this swamp and play these pathways out first, that if we draw a Snarl down the line, it can be untapped. And chat, winning the die roll is busted. So we have a plan. They did fix brawl matchmaking with the patch, which is exciting. Yeah, Untap got the new cards yesterday. I assume they're gonna smack us here now? Really? They didn't. Okay. Alright, so we're done here. Good chat. Unleash the Starnheim. Well, this card seems great here. And this card seems great here. What seems not great? Warhound seems fine on the draw. Honestly, most of our deck seems pretty good here. I probably just want to, like, drag the curve down. Maybe Rampage of the Valkyries is not good. Trim the Legion Angels. The Gruul mid-range seemed reasonable. No, it seemed much worse than the Gruul Werewolves we played yesterday. Arlen felt a lot clunkier in a more mid-rangey deck. It was a good piece of aggressive top end, though. Well, it's like the big brain bolt themselves play, so my Sunset Revelry is worse. Retribution for spookies. This card's pretty good against aggro too, huh? Just like 4 or 5 lifelinker, let's go. I mean, this is potentially like, this is almost lethal next turn, right? He's like, make 2 friends, they get double strike next turn. I guess they could have another Dragonfire. It's definitely worse against Dragonfire, because Dragonfire is dealing 4 when the back of this. Third Dragonfire is the charm. More Dragonfires than lands for our opponent, chat. I will submit it as exhibit 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the people versus the shuffler. Cards, creatures, and life, chat. Revelry indeed. Is there a 4th Dragonfire in my future, fam? How timely. All right, we're done here. This matchup seems like a nightmare for the opponent even when they draw lands. They have so much good life game. Milady's gonna have double strike next turn, chat. Yeah, Retribution is very good. We were playing this deck last season in best of 1. First game of 22, Retribution did some heavy lifting. Speaking of Esper and new cards, are there any paper boomers in chat? Has the new blue-white Faithless Looting broken Modern yet? I feel like the new blue-white Faithless Looting I expect to break Modern. But I also don't know that I care enough to play Modern to find out. So someone in chat just let me know if that's happened yet. The streamers are saying it's good enough, not broken. Okay, that means it's unplayable. So for reference, when you're working with the average content creator, it's okay and playable. The week the card releases means long-term it's probably not good enough. And if they say it's broken and going to ruin the format, that means it's probably playable. Whatever answer they give you just gotta drag it down one step. Consider... Is MID on Moto yet? Yeah, MID released on Moto a day before it released on Magic Arena. And by released a day early, I mean you couldn't buy booster packs of it yet, but you could open the cards from treasure chests. So if you were willing to pay an absurd amount of money, you could get the cards a day early. That sounds silly. Yeah. If you've never experienced Magic Online, you should just know that Ragavan's like $100 digital Magic card. So for all of its faults, Magic Arena at least isn't that for an economy. Poison the cup. Oh no, chat. They're playing drink twice. It's actually pretty bad for us. I think you could definitely argue Moto's the OG cryptocurrency. Don't drink the stranger's Kool-Aid. I think this is the first control matchup we've played. It's in the format. Someone should tell them they need snow mana for a nice frosty drink. Yep. Now, unfortunately, Skyclave Apparition here is unable to take away the token. Oh, wow. I technically missed 2 points of damage by foretelling this pre-combat. It's kind of funny. Because they wouldn't have been able to flunk my Valkyrie. This is a viewer submission. Well, I had a viewer submission for Black White Angels, and then I built this deck at the request of Black White Angels. What is their other card off of our deck? It must be like a removal spell, huh? I'ma just do this. Getting this in, just like cast the Grey Ogres. Get my 2-turn clock on. Oh, it was the land. Got it. So they don't have snow mana, so I don't feel like I need to play around Blood on the Snow. So I'm just gonna drop Liesa here. And Jawari Disruption's been heckin' rude. Man, if dying to Grey Ogre with 4 cards in hand, like, is there anything more blue-black control than dying to Grey Ogre with cards in hand? Truly, truly just the most blue-black control of plays there. So check for traps and Skyclave Shade sound lovely. Would I rather have a couple of Fateful Absence, or would I rather have a couple of Rampage of the Valkyries? I think I'd rather have Rampage. I think threat density is better. They were color screwed Grixis. Maybe. And bam. This is where the magic happens. That's actually a great draw. Jawari Disruption here. Yeah, Wolves felt like it had solid curves yesterday. I liked it a lot. Oh, this exiles the card. This card's sweet. We're gonna play Blue-Red Delver after this with some Memory Deluge in it. Memory Deluge seems like yes. What are the odds they're cold to Skyclave Shade? Hopefully high. They have Hive of the Eye Tyrant right here, Marty. What do you mean, do they have a card that wins the game? They have Hive of the Eye Tyrant right here. Got me. Legion. Guess who's back? Back again. Skyclave's back. Tell a friend. I think we continue playing around Jawari Disruption. Nah, I think I like Skyclave as just an anti-control card. Maybe if you're more aggressive. In a more aggressive deck, it's probably a reasonable main deck card. But our deck's pretty mid-rangey. Oh, I could have foretold because of their... Yeah, that's a good point. Good shout. If they draw an untapped land here, they can actually kill this and then Hive to exile it. Yep. So even an untapped land's an okay draw here, because it'll give us a third angel. Even if they have a sweeper, I have Cave of the Frost Dragon left over, and if they don't have a sweeper, they're very dead. Yep. Skyclave Shade did some real heavy lifting that game. It was like a 2 or 3 for 1 by the end. Yeah. Yeah, it put up a bunch of damage and it took multiple cards out of them. It's great. Dee 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 dee. Yeah, I think this archetype can be pretty reasonable into snow control if it pops back up Fanu, thanks to good sideboard options. We have queued into Mr. Nassif, who also appears to be streaming if you'd like to watch this match from both sides. Probably another control opponent if I had to venture a guess. Want this card to be playable so bad, chat? Oh no! Look at how bad my land. I talked about playing Pathways out aggressively earlier, and then I messed it up. I'm just gonna do this and play this tapped. It's our last Legion Angel in the board. And then we can play the Forgotten Angel out here, because even if they have Blood on the Snow next turn, we can use Forgotten Angel to pick these back up if they don't have a removal spell for this. Hey, Whitstone, thanks for 19 months. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Turtle, turtle. She cannot currently flunk. She's been studying hard. But they have a removal spell and they're debating. Okay. I think we just fire up the cave, right? I don't think there's a reason to commit into a sweeper here. Just keep the pressure on without it. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it was in the take it if you wanted to let me pay the student cost into turn and let me draw a card. Alright, so Skyclave Apparition out for sure. I definitely want the traps and the Skyclave Shades. The question is, how much interaction do I want post-board? I feel like there's a good chance they have Emeria in their deck, but Rampage of the Valkyries is like kind of interaction for that, right? They kill my stuff, their stuff dies. That's just kind of a big dumb beater. I feel like they're probably on the Desert Doom. They could be on some Planeswalkers. It could be right to keep these in, because they deal with Dragon Turtle, they deal with Creature Lands, they deal with Desert Doom, they deal with the Planeswalkers. Maybe this is just too slow and clunky. Let's try this. And then, if there's a game 3, we'll reassess and cut Loyal Warhound, because this card's not good on the play. So this is only good when you're on the draw, because it ramps you when your opponent gets ahead on lands. And if they're not ahead on lands because they're on the... because they were on the draw, it's less good. Yeah, solid curve. All untapped lands here, you love to see it. Consider me this. Ooh. Well, now I think we lead on that. It's a little bit sad. Touch punishing for not jamming the shade, or not jamming the check for traps. Yeah, the new soul lands are great. I was expecting them to be good, and like one of the things to consider about the snow lands when you play, oh, they must have a dragon, right? Or they want to set themselves up for dragon later. One of the big things about the slow lands is that if you don't have a ton of 1-mana spells, essentially they're only tapped on turn 2, right? Because you can play them tapped on 1, but if you don't have 1-mana spells, it's not a big deal. And then after turn 2, they're always untapped. Have a negate or something here? Well, shit. This is actually pretty mediocre against us. I think we just take a piece of their spot removal, right? Good. The good news is their spot removal is like pretty bad against Skyclave Shade, huh? And honestly, these first 2 games are just such a good example of why decks like what we're playing are much better in best of 3 than best of 1. Like, this archetype ended up being not good enough in best of 1 standard 22, but getting to like cut your bad anti-aggro cards and board in things like Skyclave Shade is a huge upside. And discard spells too, right? Like both of these cards are sideboard tools. We have to just work through the removal eventually here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and play the Valkyrie out. Assume Soul Shatter is gonna happen here. It's the most expensive and doesn't target. Oh, we're gonna flunk. Okay, interesting. Soul Shatter can't kill Cave while my Skyclave Shade's in play, so that seems good for me. This one will probably get shattered. Thanks for the follow, Preheated. So we saw it coming out of them in the first game, I believe. And then it's possible that it could be an Alderune's Epiphany. I think we just try and 2-turn clock them here, huh? Could be a Poison the Cup, too. I think that card's relatively reasonable as far as removal spells go in this format. Deal. Hang on to this one here. Antelopes are now extinct, chat. No reason to kick this. Yeah, they were great, Brett. I put up a 2-game highlight from last night on the channel this morning. I think we're just supposed to do this and hope that we have brick here or counter spells or something. That's like the opposite of a brick. Yikes. Good chance we lose from here because these are reactive cards. Because, like, if they have a way to not die to this angel, yep. Very heads-up play from Nassif here. He's a master. He soul shattered at sorcery speed, so I couldn't draw and play a creature land to get around it. Okay, well. The problem here is they get to flash this back now. Loyal Warhound triggering landfall to bring back the Shades, kind of baller. They get to look at 7 cards, so it's very possible that it's wrong that these are in my deck still post board. I don't know exactly what Nassif's list looked like. There's a chance that, like, if we were playing an open deck list tournament, I'd be like, nah, Vanishing Verse is bad. I shouldn't have it post board. The goodest of boys, chat. No Vanishing Verse in response here, because it means check for traps is lethal. I mean, we're super far behind this game at the moment. Nassif is definitely ahead. Our lands are at least live draws, so we have Skyclave Shade, but we're certainly behind at the moment. Oh, does Meathook Massacre exile things? No, it wasn't getting exiled. Yeah, the fact that Nassif has Duresses in post board, I think makes my Vanishing Verses much worse. And I'm gonna, if there's a game 3, I'm gonna pull those out. Good. We could still sneak this one out across the finish line here, but we're definitely behind. kick it. They're through 2 Baleful Masteries. Survey says... Alright, if this is a removal spell, we're super fucking dead. Alright, they had to trade. It's good for the home team. Okay. we have a game. The Thief's best draw at this point is Memory Deluge. Honestly, this might be one of our best draws. Because it like... Oh no! Oh no, we had the same number of lands! What a tilter. What a tilter. Okay, that's fine. They would have just gained an extra life, so it's fine. The second Skyclave Shade here means that any lands get 2 threats from here on out. Solid back and forth. They're really just a testament to how important being able to sideboard is for mid-range decks to be playable. Like, imagine that's a game 1 where we don't have access to a card like Skyclave Shade that lets us grind them out. It's just so important for decks like what we're playing to potentially be competitive to have access to sideboards. Yeah, Check for Traps was instrumental that game too. Well, we could get run over here. Alright, I am holding my swamp to play later in case I draw a thing. I am holding my swamp to play later in case I draw a thing. I mean, it's an excellent control sideboard card for sure. My body is ready to get Blizzard Brawled, chat. If they don't have Blizzard Brawl here, we have a really solid curve. This was a really skill-testing game where my opponent won the die roll. Don't play another threat. Don't do it. Have a heart. Alright, we're dead, fam. Mono Greed plays 8 Blizzard Brawls. Yeah, big mood. Alright, so Warhound's not good on the play. I might need different removal in my sideboard. I've got Revelry and Portable Hole. I might want some flunks in here. Trim a Starnheim Unleashed. I think these 5s are better in this matchup. I mean, I think if the mono green Blizzard Brawl deck is a primary deck in the format, I think that's probably a pretty good sign for the format. That deck cares about attacking and blocking, generally speaking, even if Blizzard Brawl is super powerful. Not trim Legion Angel, because I want to draw Legion Angel. I'd rather have Liesa or Rampage. I think I'd rather have Liesa here. Curving this into the lifelinker and then giving the lifelinker double strike sounds like gasoline. Can we just draw lands for our next 3 draws, please? Please, game lands. Give me lands, game. All right. I halfway there. Do lemon on a square. It could be right to play more Vanishing Verse in this deck too. I've only got 2 of these in the 75. What did my opponent keep? I'm so confused. We didn't draw a 4th land, but like our opponent's just an actual stone nothing. Okay. Attack with my friends. Collecting company, maybe. The will of the woods is made manifest. And Tess, thanks for the 24 months. Welcome back. Yeah, Valkyrie's pretty decent. Maybe even decent plus. I'm gonna try and not repeat the mistake our opponent made last game and avoid keeping a hand that does nothing. Alright, well that one's definitely gotta go, because it makes all of my portable holes worse. Gotta get to land number 5 here. No blocks. 15. So what's our best draw? It's like Retribution this turn, untap land the following turn. How do we feel about portable hole, a cat token? I think I'm into it. It's like, ideally we just like draw a 5th land, and if we draw a 5th land, our mana is spoken for the next 2 turns. Hey, busy hands. Me too. Sunday should be fun. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. We brick on the land here, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. Is also not great for the home team. Alright, that'll do, pig. There's a chance we have too many 5s in our deck. I mean, to be fair, there's plenty of downtime while you play the open, yummy. So like, just play an aggro deck and catch Oshawatts in between rounds. $26 lands in here. I might be low. Effectively have 9 5-drops. You could like play another Emeria's Call. That's true. Pogo and Arena are both fun games. Put a third verse on the board over the third portable hole. This is a full-time mobile game stream. We play Magic Arena and Pokemon Unite and Pokemon Go. All those hit mobile games, chat. To be fair, we didn't finish Batman. Oh, I'll keep this. Let's draw a white source. We added a 27th land to our deck, chat. We're due to draw a white source. An outside stream with a cornfield view. Okay. What happened to Batman? Batman had too much tank combat. And it sounds like a meme when I say it, but they had entire sections that were stealth tank combat, and it was real bad. Wait, is this just... is Banishing Light? Damn it, chat, my opponent doesn't have a 5th land. How am I supposed to Loyal Warhound if they don't have a 5th land? Was it too hard or just unfun? It was tedious. Most gameplay that people describe as difficult, it isn't actually difficult. It just involves a lot of waiting. Like, people describe games like Last of Us as having difficult gameplay. And, like, it's not actually difficult gameplay. You just, like, have to be willing to sit on your hands to, like, efficiently play through. Opponent giving off historic vibes. You mean they're playing a control deck? Yeah, The Last of Us was another one I bounced on. I'm not interested in games that utilize stealth to pad their playtime. I'm an adult, I ain't got time for that. Man, they just have 2 memory deluges sitting in the bin waiting to flashback. Heard of the boss baby problem. Can't say that I'm familiar with the boss baby problem. So if I play Valkyrie and then play Retribution, this would be +2 bigger, and then these would each be +2, so it'd be 10 total, so not quite lethal. Yeah, I've heard good things about Dishonored. I've seen good things about Deathloop, but Deathloop is very what? That's what I'm searching for. Roguelite adjacent, right? Where you like repeat your things over and over again. It's a game where you're supposed to play through a bunch of things multiple times. Yes, but also no. Okay. For people that are interested in my variety segments, the next game we're going to be starting for that is Coma. Is it Coma? Kona? I forget. The new it looks very Pixar-esque in animation. And then there's a list of variety games that I picked up that we're going to play in the stream queue. Think we're dead, fam. Their deck is certainly, you know, we're getting to test our sideboard out today. This is yet another matchup where the our sideboard cards, you know, we have 8, 9 cards now that come in here. We don't need Fateful Absence and Vanishing Verse. Leave these in. On the draw, we'll put doggos in. Yeah, I'm also cheap. I don't think I'd pay retail for the $60 or $70 price tag unless it's like a sequel to a game that I know I love. I'm not gonna pay retail. There's plenty of games I've bought on sale, and the other things will go on sale eventually. So like Horizon Forbidden West, we'll play that when it comes out. We'll play God of War right when it comes out, but like other new IPs, we'll wait till those are 50% off. Now, I'll probably try the older Batman games at some point. I'm told that there's no tanks in them. When's the next God of War? God of War is 2022. God of War Ragnarok. They shared at the last PlayStation announcement thing, they shared some gameplay of, they shared some gameplay of it. Looks real good. That hand was so good if it had a black source. Skyclave Shade's a little bit less good in this matchup than it is against the blue-black control decks we played against because they have some exile spells. Yeah. Maybe I should leave my Skyclave Apparitions in if they're gonna have portable holes and stuff too. I'm gonna play this, then I'm gonna hold on to these lands for now. Zombies was fine this morning. We won more than we lost. And our second deck today was actually pretty bad. The green-red mid-range. Yikes. Alright, well, we'll take a Memory Deluge, I guess. But we have two of them. Hopefully the Skyclave Shade just, like, attacks 3 more times when they die. Back Poindexter. Good morning. I technically should have done this pre-combat, but it's getting counterspelled, so it doesn't matter. Like, I have the creature land here, but they have a Field of Ruin. So we know this is a counterspell, and we know they have another Sawk coming in their hand, so probably dead here. Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and concede. We're pretty done here. Just not able to get underneath them. I mean, like, our deck being 2-1 against 3 control decks is, like, far above average, chat. Like, if you told me my mid-range deck was gonna get stuffed by blue-white control, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds right. I have not, Mr. Photon. I had the latest one purchased on a sale at one point, though. So we'll poke at that eventually. Elves? No, the opponent appears to be playing good cards. Well, I guess good for this one is questionable. Let's get rid of the pack leader here before they can untap and have a protection spell. Please play Finn. What is Finn? I assume it must be terrible because I have no idea what it does. Oh, the Poison Lord. So yes, confirmed terrible because I didn't know what it does. I mean, to set a low bar, Finn in Brawl mitigates the big issue with Finn, which is that, like, you can actually finish the getting poison counters on it. I think we just trade the 4/4 for the Chariot here, right? Oh. Huh. I think I trade the 4/4 for the Chariot. Think I do this into this. I could have just played a 4/4 here, but this gets me 2 4/4s next turn. And it pumps the Valkyrie up by 2. I think I'm okay trading this just to save some damage for the turn, even though it makes something a little bit larger for them, because Starnheim Unleashed is going to give us blockers for 3/3s next turn. Second Cadillac is quite the beating. Are we dead? They go crew, pump. Might be dead here. We'll see what their attack looks like. I'm not counting it. We'll see how they actually attack when all is said and done. They can have things like Blizzard Brawl that change the dynamic as well. If by super dead you mean they deal exactly lethal, then yes, I am super dead. Yeah, I was just about to say, I wonder if Crippling Fear is a card we should be playing. Very possible. I don't know. It's tough, right? Like, it's easy to look at a board like this and go, oh, we should play Crippling Fear. But these games can also play out in very different ways as well, where they, like, have 4/4s or they stack tokens up instead of going wide. So there's also a very real chance that, like, you have Crippling Fear and their board just, like, doesn't give a shit about it. like, oh, my opponent went wide in this specific game and it beat me. Is that their average case scenario, or was that something outside the norm is the question you want to ask yourself? I stopped. People, Meat Hook Massacre is not a very good card. Stop it. It's so much mana. It's so much mana. It's so many manas. It is a very neat card. It has a fun name. It's like, maybe it's fine in a control deck. Like in the Seif's deck that we just played against, it's probably sweet. Yeah, it also wipes our board too. Alright, this is the one and only warning shot I'm giving to people in chat. I'm gonna start issuing timeouts after this. For the people suggesting cards for my board. 1, tell me what problem you're solving with that card. 2, tell me what you're cutting and why that's the cut. Them's the card suggestion rules. Please follow them. Like, for example, should we play Infernal Grasp? I don't know. Why is Infernal Grasp better than Vanishing Verse? Why is it better than Portable Hole? We have lots of options for lots of these things. Explain why the one you're suggesting we should play that we're currently not is worthwhile. Listen, Phobos, trying to get Twitch chat to consistently make constructive recommendations is like... It's retraining people the opposite of what they're used to. It's trading a 3-3 for a 3-3, so... They brought testing back up due to popular demand. Nope, don't like that. It's just so many Cadillacs, chat. Retribution is good, but it's just not quite Cadillac good. Okay, I guess with Legion Angel, if we can manage to not die this turn, we have lethal in play, right? I know a timeout copy paste when I see one. Okay, so that hops in the Cadillac. Man. This is exactly dead. We're so close. We're so close. And I think we're just too far. For the 19 months, Misha, welcome back. Or do they have a fight spell anyways? Just didn't matter. Tap and kill from Angel. That's only till end of turn. Again. Yeah. Our deck just felt kind of slow and not competitive here. Chariot's just a huge beating. I think I'm gonna bounce off of this one. It actually felt better against the control decks than the aggro matchups. Yeah, I don't know if what mid-range is gonna look like in this format, but so far the few different drafts that we've tried have not felt particularly promising. The things that the aggressively slanted decks are able to do just felt like they had, like, it's so hard to out card advantage things like Ranger's class, right? And like, our deck has high average card quality, but Ranger's class just overwhelms you with card quantity. Yeah, and that's even before you get into like the efficiency of things like Blizzard's Brawl. Like, Vanishing Verse is pretty good, but it's still just like only half as efficient as Blizzard Brawl. I mean, like, what? Like, that's... It feels like a stupid statement, Slivark. Was the deck good against control, or was the cards the deck were playing good against control? Yes, both of those things are true. Your card is the deck's... Your deck is the cards that it plays. So, like, yeah, we had a plan against control, and the plan was good. I don't know. I think Crippling Fear... I think it's really easy to look at those last couple of games and say, well, Jeff, you should have Crippling Fear. And then there's an entirely different subset of games that green deck often plays out where, like, their Cadillac goes big, or they don't draw multiple Cadillacs, and instead they draw a bunch of 4/4s, or they put a 1/1 counter on their 3/3, and then just none of your stuff matters, really, right? So, yeah, both of those last two games, Crippling Fear would have been good, but I also don't think that, like, that's how it's always going to play out.